You know that feeling when your phone buzzes and it's them? The one who ghosted you 3 months ago? The one who left you confused, hurt, questioning everything about yourself. And now they're back with, "Hey, I've been thinking about you," or "I miss what we had." Your heart does this weird thing, right? Part of you wants to throw the phone across the room, but another part feels this dangerous flutter of hope. Here's what I need you to understand, and I mean really understand. This isn't coincidence. This isn't fate. This is strategy. They call it hoovering, like the vacuum cleaner, because that's exactly what they're doing, sucking you back in. And the reason it works so well? The reason you're even considering responding? It's because they've studied you. They know exactly which buttons to push. Think about the timing of their return. Was it right after you posted something showing you're happy? Right after you started dating someone new? Or maybe right after they got dumped by whoever they left you for? That's not random. Repeat after me. I see the pattern. I will not unsee it. Here's what's happening beneath the surface. When someone hurts you, then disappears, your brain doesn't get closure. It stays in this loop, trying to solve the puzzle. What did I do wrong? Was I not enough? Thomas Hobbes understood this. Humans are driven by desire and fear. They used your desire for validation to control you before. Now they're using your fear. Fear that maybe you'll never feel that initial spark with anyone else. Because when you're confused, you can't make clear decisions. When you're questioning yourself, you stop questioning them. When you're grateful for breadcrumbs, you don't demand the whole meal. The sweetness you're seeing now? It's not real. It's a performance. Let me explain how this works. Every manipulator operates on the same principle: inconsistent reinforcement. You know what that is? It's when a rat in a lab gets rewarded randomly. Not every time, just sometimes. And psychologists discovered something wild. That rat will press the lever more obsessively than if it got rewarded every single time. You're not a rat, but your brain's reward system? It works the same way. When they were hot and cold before, amazing one week, distant the next, they weren't confused. They were training you to accept crumbs, training you to be grateful for the bare minimum, training you to chase. And now they're back, being sweet again because they need something. Maybe it's validation, maybe it's sex, maybe they're just bored. Or, and this is the one that hurts most, maybe their new supply didn't work out and they're cycling back to old sources. Repeat after me. Their pattern is not my problem to fix. Here's what you need to recognize. The version of them that's being sweet right now, that's not the real them finally showing up. The real them is the pattern, the cycle, the disappearing act followed by the grand return.
Now, let's talk about why this specific moment is so dangerous. When they hoover, when they come back sweet, your brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It feels like relief. See, I knew they cared. I knew it wasn't all bad. But here's what you need to understand. Systems that depend on the virtue of those in power will always fail. You need accountability. And what accountability have they shown? A text message? Sweet words? I'll wait. Nothing, right? Just vibes. Just, I miss you. Just enough to get their foot back in the door. Words are the cheapest currency in manipulation. Rousseau wrote that relationships need a social contract, obligations on both sides. What obligations are they meeting? What amends have they made for the harm? Repeat after me. I choose foundations, not feelings. Here's the pattern you need to burn into your memory. Hoover, love bomb, devalue, discard, repeat. They come back sweet. They make you feel special again. Then, slowly, the criticism starts. The distance returns. Then they're gone again. And the cycle continues as long as you allow it. In your relationship, you get to decide if this is the exception or the rule. And friend, this is the rule. So what do you do with this knowledge? First, get honest with yourself about what you're actually missing. Are you missing them? Or are you missing who you were when you still had hope? Are you missing the relationship? Or are you missing not feeling alone? Because here's what I've learned. We don't miss the person. We miss the version of ourselves that still believed. The moment you realize you're not dealing with love, you're dealing with a tactic, everything changes. Second, you need to understand something about closure. You're not going to get it from them. You're not going to have that movie moment where they apologize, explain everything, and you finally understand. Machiavelli was cold about this. People act in their self-interest. That's it. They came back because it serves them, not because they've had some profound realization about your worth. Your closure comes from accepting the pattern and choosing differently. Repeat after me. I am the closure I've been waiting for. Third, and this is the hardest part, you have to grieve what you hoped they could be. Not what they were, because what they were included the disappearing, the confusion, the hurt. You have to grieve the potential you saw in them. That grief is real. Honor it. But don't let it keep you trapped. Here's what nobody tells you about hoovering. It works because you're good. You're empathetic. You believe in second chances. You want to see the best in people. Those aren't weaknesses, those are beautiful qualities. The problem isn't you. The problem is directing those qualities towards someone who weaponizes them. Aristotle talked about virtue as the mean between extremes. The virtue you're looking for isn't cold cynicism, it's discernment. It's knowing when compassion serves growth and when it enables destruction. So, you want to know the real reason they came back sweet? Because the disappearing act didn't destroy you completely. And that bothers them. You're supposed to be broken, waiting, ready to accept anything just to have them back. But you're not broken. You're here, trying to understand, trying to grow. And that terrifies manipulators, because their power depends on your confusion. So let me give you some clarity. You deserve someone who doesn't need to disappear to appreciate you. Repeat after me. Consistency is not boring. It's love. Here's your choice, laid out clean. You can respond to that text, that call, that sudden sweetness. You can get back on the carousel and hope this time is different. Or you can recognize the Hoover for what it is, a tactic, a pattern, a game you didn't sign up to play. And you can choose yourself. Not in some dramatic way, just quietly, firmly. You can delete the message, block the number, or simply never respond. Because your attention, your energy, your hope, these are yours. And you don't owe them to anyone who's proven they'll waste them. Listen, I know part of you is still hoping I'm wrong, that maybe they really have changed, that maybe this time. But here's the thing. Boundaries are your protection. Your standards are your structure. Don't dismantle them for someone who's shown you exactly who they are. They disappeared because they could. They came back because they can. The question isn't about them anymore. It's about you.
What will you allow? I get it. You're afraid of being too harsh, too unforgiving. But discernment isn't cynicism. Protecting yourself isn't cruelty. Refusing to accept less than you deserve isn't being difficult. It's called having standards. And standards aren't walls that keep love out. They're gates that only open for people who've earned access. Imagine waking up and not checking your phone with anxiety. Not wondering if today's the day they'll disappear again. Not walking on eggshells trying to keep them happy. Imagine someone who texts back, who makes plans and keeps them, who doesn't need you to beg for basic respect. Imagine boring, reliable, consistent, and discovering that it's not boring at all. It's peace. You know what survivors of these relationships say? I didn't know love could be calm. I thought passion meant chaos. But real love? It's steady. It's someone who doesn't need to hurt you to feel powerful. It's safety and growth and respect. Repeat after me. Every time I choose myself, I get stronger. Walking away doesn't mean you didn't love them. It doesn't mean the good moments weren't real. It doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you love yourself more than you love the fantasy of who they could be. And that's not selfish. That's survival. You are not responsible for their growth. You are not required to endure their patterns. You are not obligated to give chance after chance to someone who keeps wasting them. You are allowed to be done. You are allowed to block them. You are allowed to choose peace over potential. If this resonated with you, if you felt seen, do me a favor. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Someone stuck in their own cycle. Hit that like button. Subscribe for more truth that cuts through the noise. Because knowledge is only power when we use it. And you? You have everything you need to break free. The Hoover only works if you turn on the machine. So don't. Choose yourself.